There's some interesting news coming out just now about autonomous trucks and an autonomous truck manufacturer, and it's good news for truck drivers, and it's bad news for autonomous trucks. By now, I'm sure most of you know that GP Transco is an excellent place for company drivers to work. But did you also know it's an excellent place for owner operators to work? Owner operators can go to their owner operator calculator and figure out what their rates are going to be, what their pay is going to be, what their costs are going to be, and figure out in advance how much money they're going to make. They can also be assured that GP owner operators make 25% above the national average. Check it out at gptransco.com. Now, back in April, a company called Too Simple, which is the biggest manufacturer of autonomous trucks in the nation right now, back in April, one of their trucks had a crash. And of course, they didn't want that news to get out, so they quieted it down. And the mainstream media didn't really report on this crash that their autonomous truck had. But the Wall Street Journal picked up the story, investigated it, ran with it. And who reads the Wall Street Journal? The investors. So all of a sudden, Too Simple's investors group, all their stockholders basically, are suing Too Simple because the Wall Street article revealed some facts about their operation at Too Simple that the shareholders and the investors were not aware of. And they're claiming they didn't know about this. And now these shareholders are feeling like they've been duped. And they formed a class action lawsuit against the autonomous truck maker, Too Simple. Now, part of this lawsuit claims that the shareholders were not aware of the fact that Too Simple was doing a lot of their testing on public highways. And suddenly the shareholders are now aware of the liability concerned with doing testing on public highways with these autonomous vehicles. Now, that was one of the first things I thought of, and I've been complaining about it for years. And I don't know why the shareholders wouldn't think about this, or maybe they were just never told. And they didn't even realize it was going on until the Wall Street Journal released this article. But my problem with this has been not that the shareholders would need to understand that the testing was done on public highways. If they'd looked into it, they would have known that. But my problem is that the government has always okayed this testing. The state governments have allowed the testing of these autonomous vehicles on public highways. And perhaps they bought into the story that, oh, because they were autonomous, there'd never be an accident. Well, everybody knows that all vehicles have the potential for an accident. Now, this accident may turn out to be a blessing in disguise for the trucking industry. Nobody was injured or killed in this accident. They were very lucky that way. But this accident has triggered investors to pull away all of a sudden from investing in autonomous trucks, and the stock for these companies is starting to dive. But what the really surprising part is the fact that the carriers are pretending this will never happen. Too Simple, the inventors are pretending this never would have happened. The government is turning a blind eye and pretending, oh, they couldn't have seen this coming. The only ones that knew that this was inevitable, it was bound to happen, were the truck drivers, because they know how difficult it is to drive these big, heavy trucks. Stay safe, take care. Keep your job driving the truck, because it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I'll see you on the back haul.